One of the best things that you can do to grow your Twitter account is to come in and review your Twitter analytics on a regular basis. And to access your Twitter analytics, just click on your profile image and then you can come down and click on Analytics. Now in here, there are a couple of different screens across the top. And on this home screen especially, this is a great place to find out what kinds of content are getting the most engagement, who are the most influential people in your audience. And then especially in the audiences tab here, you can really start to understand the age, gender and location of your audience, the demographics. Very valuable to know. So let's get started by looking at the top tweet here on the home screen. And this is really the top tweet for the month so far that's got the most amount of impressions. Now this is fantastic to know because you can look at the topic of this tweet. You know, what were you really talking about here? You mentioned somebody, maybe that resonated with the audience, that got a lot of likes. You can continue to create more content around that topic going forward because you know that's popular with your audience. You could also essentially reshare this tweet throughout the month or next month with slightly different wording so that you're continuing to maybe share that popular content out. Now what you can do in terms of looking back at your other top tweets as well is look at the format as well. Did you include an image? Did you include a video? Are you seeing a lot of differences in terms of impressions when you change up the format? And that's something that you can test out and then come into your analytics to really see, did that make a difference or not? Now coming on down to the top followers, this is another very interesting part of the analytics because in here you can really have a look and even click through to their profile. You can thank them for following you. You can start a conversation with them. Maybe if they have a similar audience, they might have a blog or a podcast, then you could say, hey, you know, maybe we could do a guest post. I go on your site, you go on my site, etc. if they have a similar audience. Now you will need to go in and really click through, see if that is a legitimate account and maybe they just bought the followers. So you might want to check that out. But going down through even the previous months, you can see who are their types of followers, what type of content they put out, is there a good match there? And maybe you could do something like a guest post or a podcast, or maybe just even connect with an influential person online. Now over here, we also have the top mentions. So this is a tweet in which someone mentioned you that got a lot of engagements. So you can look at these top mentions, maybe thank them again, retweet them, and in future try to encourage your audience to mention you or engage with you on Twitter, because you'll be shared not only, the person who mentions you, you'll be seen not only by all of their audience, but your audience as well if you retweet it. So it's a great way to kind of, if you can get more mentions, it's just a great way to create content for Twitter that you can retweet, and also then you can really get in front of other people's audiences as well. So encouraging people to connect with you and mention you on Twitter is just a great way to get more impressions. Now coming across away from the home screen, we do have a tweets tab here, which can be interesting to look at, to get a look at your total number of impressions over the last, say, 28 days. You can change the period here. You can export the data here as well if you want. And so again, not only looking at your top tweets, but also looking at some of your other tweets to see how they've performed against each other. And that'll just give you a more in-depth look and metrics for all of your tweets. Now in here in the audiences tab, this is pretty interesting as well. You can see a lot of their interests here. Which can be interesting. I think Twitter gets a lot of this information from partner sites, including like the average income of your audience, etc., what they're interested in. So it's pretty high level stuff, to be honest. Take it with a pinch of salt, but it can just be interesting to come in and look and see, does that kind of match up with the audience that you're trying to attract? And probably the most valuable tab here is the demographics. You can see male or female split in your audience, 60-40 there. And you can see the age range as well. So you just want to come in and say, is the audience that I'm trying to attract, that is the audience for my blog or my product or my service, really matching up with my Twitter audience? And if not, maybe I should make it clear in the content that I'm putting out that it really appeals to these type of people of this sex, that the type of problems that they have, that I'm speaking directly to those type of people, and even in those type of jobs maybe, and these particular countries as well. So this is a fantastic page just to get a really clear picture of who maybe your best follower is on Twitter in terms of their persona, and you can use the information in here to build that persona up. So extremely valuable. So Twitter analytics are one of the best ways that you can use, or one of the best tools that you can use to grow your Twitter account. So I'd really encourage you to come in and check it out. And once again, you can come in and click on your profile when you're on Twitter, and then just click on analytics to access it and to analyze it and to get all those insights for yourself.